here we go. There's my heartbeat. Trina Amio is here in the house, a soul path guide. She uses numerology, cards that she's holding up, and astrology to help people uncover their purpose, to trust their intuition, and really to step into their next aligned chapter. Trina, all of this is way up my alley. I am so excited that I actually get to be here interviewing you. I mean, I loved your talk on my last event that you did. I was so engaged, but now I'm so honored to be able to interview you. Welcome to the Echoes of Love. As a resident speaker, you're here really special. Tell us a little bit about who you are. I know I introduced you real quick, but who you are and what you do and why you're here.
Josie, thank you so much for having me on your platform. I just want to say I appreciate it. I want to also say happy birthday to you a few days ago, right? And I'm an astrologer and an intuitive card author and a guide. And I see that you're Sagittarius and we're in Sagittarius season. So it's no wonder you like spirituality. Sagittarians love philosophy and big belief systems and expanding your horizons in some ways. So I'm just really excited for you, Josie, and I'm excited for everyone watching and just to be here. So thank you for having me.
Oh, well, thank you. I just feel the energy. And that's part of what this Echoes of Love movement is like the energetics of people coming together in a weird way in an online space, is what somebody said to me. How can you feel the echoes of love in an online event? And I said, well, you have to come because the speakers, the energy of the attendees, you viewers who are here listening to the speakers, our energetic vibrance is raised by coming together with this energy of love and excitement. And I know out of all the people, you are one to understand and to explain a little bit about what that means because you work with energy, you work with astrology, you work with our deepest goals and desires through a different mediumship. Can you talk about that a little bit for us?
Yes. Wow, there's a lot to unpack there, but energy is key. I always like to say, we see things and they're solid, right? But you start off with the molecules, and then the atoms, and then the quarks, and then you get into the subatomic level. Once you get to the very bottom of things, it's almost all empty space, like 99.9 something empty space. So reality is not how we see it, and it is based on energy. And I like to look at the stars, astrology, different kinds of astrology, Chinese metaphysics, and pulling cards and all these kind of spiritual thingies or woo-woo things, you might say. But it's a lot to read the energy and to help us manipulate energy into our favor. I like to get together with people and do spoon bending, for example, spoon bending parties where you use your mind to heat up the metal, but you're not really heating it up, although it does get hot. What you're doing is you're separating those molecules even further so that they become malleable and you can easily twist and forms the shapes. But it's the power of the mind, right? And we can get out of these patterns. That's a big thing with my business, is how do we get out of these patterns that have programmed into us since childhood, right? So,
Yes. Oh my
yeah.
gosh. Now I got tingles and it's not because I'm cold because it's warm in here, but now I want to have I was going to say pole bending, but a spoon bending party. I definitely love that idea. Can we do that virtually online?
Yes, I do it. I do it virtually online too. Um, by the way, I'm just going to give a little advertisement here or whatever, but a plug, I should say. I just started the Cards and Stars Academy this morning. And I'll be launching and emailing everybody about it. But in that group, we meet once a week, every Wednesday, to practice on Zoom our card readings with each other, our astrology readings with each other, but also spoon bending and energy work with each other too. So you might be interested in joining.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool. For those of you who don't know, I kind of have just recently also embraced my own, let's say, intuitive guidance. Even for me to say it, it's like intuitive. What is that? But realizing exactly what is inside, and I love that you help people explore that and make it normal, right? It becomes part of this, not like, "Ooh, you're weird and woo-woo-y." It's like, "No, this is really cool and normal. We're all in here." So, what is one of the things that you would like to share with us today? Because I know you come from, like, you have your card deck, you have, last time I was so intrigued with your numerology and how it applied because you spoke over on my business event and how it applies to business. Like,
Well, you turned 50, right?
I
You've
did.
recently turned 50. So did Elizabeth, and I had done an interview with her, right? Our friend Elizabeth Ocean, who that's how me and you met. And I was telling her turning 50 is a big thing because 5 + 0 = 5. That's the middle of the movie. There's big changes on the horizon. You'll start seeing a lot of those changes in 2026, year of the fire horse, right? Right now we're in the year of the snake. We're all shedding our skin, getting rid of the old bullocky stuff, right? Getting wiser, snakes, right? And getting ready for the fire horse, which is a galloping energy in 2026. And you're going to see that, especially you being a Sagittarius, Josie, because if you look at the picture of Sagittarius, it's what do you call that? A centaur, where it's half human on top of the horse. And we're going into the year of the fire horse. And Sagittarius is a fire element energy. So there's just a lot of action, Josie, for you with having that 5, the middle of the movie. Let's go. I'm really excited for you too. So come see me for a reading later. And
Oh
we'll
my
dive
gosh,
deeper.
I'm going to for sure, for sure. I love experiencing everything that every single one of the speakers that I interact with have, and I am one of those to say, "Yes, let me test it out. Let me see what it's all about." Because then when I'm a believer, you know the song, "I'm a believer, couldn't leave her if I tried." Well, not a singer, but once I believe and get to try something, definitely the words come out to say you got to try this. Guys, I have been in a container with Trina off and on for the last several months and really getting to know her. She's the real thing. Like it comes out with such power. The words that are coming to my mind right now: power, passion, positivity, and purpose. So the 4 P's. There's
Oh, 4 Ps. I
four
like that.
P's just flew out of my mouth.
Wow.
Don't know where they came from, but that's what I feel with you, Trina. So share with us this. You have some cards that you
Yes.
created, like you've created.
Yes. Okay. Well, I'll just give you a quick rundown. When I was young, I used to see ghosts. Okay, but I grew up in a religious environment, like not my family per se, but the town I grew up in, and all that. So I wasn't allowed to talk about psychic stuff or whatever, and supernatural stuff. So that's fine, whatever. But I put it under the rug, and then I became a power engineer, and then I taught at the college power engineering, and then I became a computer network administrator. So I went very data oriented, right? And I kind of shoved my intuition stuff under the rug, which is fine. But now, after I had kids, I'm 47 now, and my oldest one is 12. So I have 12 and 10-year-old. And so, 12 years ago, we'll say, when I was pregnant, something came over me where I needed to get back into mediumship and learn more about stuff like astrology, and I learned everything I could about cards. And eventually my best friend from BC, Michelle, she's a Capricorn, by the way, and she's a drawer, like an illustrator, like she likes drawing and painting. And then she was showing me her painting. I'm like, oh my gosh, these pictures would be so good for a new card deck. And she's like, really? You think they're that good? And I'm like, yes. And so we made our first card deck back in the day. This was years ago. This pink Power of 8 chakra oracle with the 8 chakras, right? And you open it up and you see your chakra chart and you'll know. And then we put on the bottom, everything always works out for me, just to keep that's what we should be programming in our brain. Everything always works out, right? And then so they're the pink chakra oracle, and they're based on chakras, and they're like, I'll just give a collective card for everybody right now. Okay, this is for
Ooh,
everybody watching.
a
It's a
treat.
nice message. These are nice cards because sometimes people are scared of like tarot or systems that are like a little too maybe blunt or too predictive, or I don't know how to explain it, but these are the gentle cards, right? Like, look, inspiration surrounds me. Look at that full moon coming up December 4th, folks. And Gemini, keep an eye out for the December 4th full moon. Come watch my YouTube channel from Aries to Pisces to see what it means for you. Side note. But this is the full moon, and look at that guitar, right? Inspiration
Oh,
surrounds me. So we can look around, inspiration is everywhere. And if you look at our color booklet at number 43, 4 + 3 = 7, seventh chakra is the third eye, which looks distant to your future. What do you want it to look like? Inspiration surrounds me. Let's do a quickie here. 43, 4 + 3 = 7, very spiritual number. Um, so can you see the guitar? How
Yeah.
all the trees and branches come together to make this whole picture? Well, this painting is both seeing the big picture and the fine details too. And that's something Sagittarius, you, Josie, you're very good at seeing the big picture, but it's also like it can be the seeing the forest for the trees themselves can be a problem for Sagittarian people because you're way up here and looking at everything as a big picture. So this card's asking us to look at the details too, and looking at all our experiences, good or bad, they've just created us, right? And they all play a part in the fabric of our soul. And it could be we may have creative energy that needs to be released. Maybe it's like, hey, do you still have that guitar in the back of your closet that you haven't played in a long time? Right? Or painting or whatever you used to do that was creative and fun. And so there's an affirmation for each card at the bottom saying, so the affirmation for inspiration surrounds me is I allow myself to feel the reflections of my soul. And
Mm.
that gave me tingles because your original title was Echoes of the Soul. And this is Reflections of the Soul. And I'm very tingly right now. So it's really, really prominent right now. So that's an example of the Power of Eight Chakra Oracle. And in a bit, we'll pull from the other deck the Power of Eight Lenormand. And I'll talk to you a little bit about what Lenormand is. These do come as a set, by the way, on my website, www.themoontree.org, if you're interested.
Oh my gosh.
What did you
Trina,
think?
that's so fun. I know when we're what's the word I'm looking for? It's like actually a question that pops in about this the cards and the deck reading and what they mean. A lot of people who are right into it understand and know, but there's so many people out there going, "What does it mean? Like I pulled a card, so what? Oh well." Like how do you? I like I know you pull it out, and my belief is that's what I'm meant to have because it's how the energy came together and made me pull that card. Or how do you do that? How do you explain for those people who need a little bit of explanation by pulling a card what the relevance is? How is it relevant and why?
What you do is you pretend that you're going inside the card, and now you're seeing all the imagery that's showing on the card, right? So when we were looking at Inspiration Surrounds Me, I was actually imagining myself being on that island under the full moon with the trees and the water and and then feeling what that means to me. And everybody has a different, it's all subjective too. But you can of course use the book to get extra info. I mean, that's why the book's there. However, I do prefer when we start as a starting reader to get yourself inside the card.
Oh, I love that. So I want to make a little clarity here. You help people, you do readings for people who maybe are looking for guidance, looking for some direction, but you also help people learn how to do this, how to do the
Yes.
readings and tap into their intuitive guidance. Is that what
Yes, I've
how it works?
recently sort of pivoted in my business actually into becoming the teacher. I used to do, a lot. Well, I still do a lot of readings for people, but now I want to empower you to do your own readings and become your own psychic reader. And I
Beautiful.
also teach you how to make a business out of it, turning your intuitive gifts or hobby into income. That's a separate side note of my business too, because it's a natural progression. You start off as a beginner, you get interested in it, you learn it. Now what? Oh, I can make money off this. I can make this into a business. I could do what I love and prosper and still have time to be with my family. Yes, please.
So I know I'm going to have you back on my next business festival because I'm thinking, oh, we've got some great conversation we can elaborate on here from the business side of things. But let's bring us back to the echoes of love. And as you know, this was born from a place actually for me of deep grief when my father passed away this year. And the words that he said was, "Can you imagine what would happen in this world if we all came together in love and we felt love at the same time? Can you imagine what would happen?" So, bringing us back to that place of love, the echo, the ripple, that energy vibration that we have. Let's talk about that a little bit and how what you do resonates with that. I mean, you're a resonant speaker here. I love that you there was no accident that you chose to be a resonance level speaker today.
Wow. The ripple effect, yeah, and that card that we got really reminded me of when you skip a rock, and that love and the energy ripples out. So it starts here inside of us. We need to love ourselves first. A lot of times, if things are going wrong in your life, you need to shift the energy. And the best way, I'm going to give a tip here, is to imagine you're sending love, like hearts. Just let's say something bad's going on, or somebody's bothering you, or you're feeling angry. Well, point your hearts coming out of you, point all that love, and you'll see the energy shift, and something happens where they're like, they apologize to you, or you know what I mean, like it's this total 180, and love is the answer. I totally think that love
Oh,
is a super key cheat code to this video game of life we play. It is love.
yeah, can you imagine shooting hearts instead of bullets, right? Like if we only just
Right.
shoot the hearts at the people who are maybe causing some ripples for us or some negative energy, just shoot some love and hearts at them. My
Oh,
vision is that. Like I love how you made that visible and tangible. That's actually a tangible action that we can take. And I love that you're giving us so many things that we can do, like action, walking away. Are you guys feeling that? Put action in the comments below if you're feeling that you can take what Trina's talking about and actually act on it, even just in these few minutes that we've had so far to talk about what this means. So, Trina, can you share a little bit about? Is it okay? I'm going to ask if we can go a little bit deeper here. Can we go a little
yes,
bit
you can ask
deeper?
me
All right,
anything.
go deeper. All right, and audience guys, you're listening. You're okay if we go a little bit deeper. We're not going to go too crazy, but we're going to go deep. Put the word deep if you're okay for a deep dive for a minute. Trina, what inspired you to, I know we talked a little bit about how you came from your previous career and you're here, what you developed, but let's go deep for a minute on that. Is that okay? Can you tell us a little bit about the story, like the story part? Because we're all storytellers here that brought you
Yeah,
into your transformation.
yeah. Well, in my life, like it did. And I'm not saying I'm against religion or Catholicism. I just want to put that out there right now because I actually have one of my kids that goes to a Catholic school. Okay. I'm just putting that out there first. But when I was young, our school was right across from the church. I grew up in a very small town, and it was a very religious town. And uh, I felt that there was a lot of control and a lot of backstories. There was a lot of like bad things happening, but we're like, I caught my teacher cheating on his wife with another teacher one time. And I seem to be in the middle of these exposure stories. But like, for example, the priest, we'd have to go into those little boxes and confess stuff and whatever. And we're really young. So how much sinning are we really doing? I don't know. But anyways, I always felt creepy. I told my mom, I feel creepy around him and all this, right? Like there's something weird and about him and not. But she's like, well, it is what it is. Like she's not religious, but it was just like you just do what you have to do when you grow. You know what I mean? So, anyways, in the end, I found out that like later in life, this priest was the proverbial abuser of the altar boys. One of my friends doesn't even know if he's, you know, gay or not. Like he's not sure because he's been so the abuse thing. So as I got older, I realized, a lot of things control us. In order to not tap into our own um, intuition, and we need to listen to the media and to our government and to this and now blah blah blah. And then it's like we get lost under there. So I think that when I got pregnant, something happened, like this connection to source maybe, or so I don't know what it was, but it was just like this aha, I will no longer be controlled. I will do my own journey. This is my video game of life. This is my life, and I'm going to explore things that make me happy, and things like that, like having more, not doing things or being someone that someone else wants me to be. And that's what it all changed. And I think that that was the foundation of my spiritual journey.
That's really that we went deep. We went deep there.
Was that deep enough for you?
That
No.
was pretty deep. No, because we all have stories that we tell, and they turn into these beautiful talks that we give, a keynote, a conversation with somebody, and they're all relative to a story. Like, listen to the storytellers of the elders. Like, that's how our society came to be. And when we can embrace our intuitive powers and blend it with this storytelling, we can create something that is only ours, right? That is unique to us. And what I'm hearing is, I love the imagery of what you said when you got pregnant. It's like this. I put a picture of like a cord that
Yeah,
came
that's me
down
too. Me too.
from your
Yeah.
divine, yeah, like this energetic divinity coming down. And we're not talking religion here. We're talking about this connection to the that energetic source of where we all came. Uh,
Exactly.
and regardless of what your beliefs are, I believe, my belief is that it's all connected. And we've heard that before, people saying it's all connected. So, can you tell us a little bit about that connection to source? Is it something that everybody has access to? Because there's some people out there who probably don't believe that they too have this access. And so they put it off and say, no, it's not me. It's not me.
Yeah. I believe that, a lot of times people say our body has a soul, but I think it's the other way around. Our
Yeah.
soul has the body. So we're already connected to source. Everybody is. Let's call source God for a minute. Do you think God would create shitty paintings? No, he creates Picassos. We're all special, we're all unique, and we're all a part of the fabric of this whole mosaic, right? And what the bad guys in the world are trying to do is separate us, right? And I gave an example on another talk I did where it's the blue versus red, right? In politics, for example, blue versus red. A lot in sports, blue versus red. Hot versus cold, where cold is blue and hot is red. Okay, there's that separation. But guess what? When you mix blue and red together, it creates violet, which is the strongest frequency in the light spectrum. We're better together. So we need to stop letting I'm going to call them the bad guys, okay? We got to stop letting that separation happen. And like how your dad said, wouldn't it be lovely if we could all share love and send love as together as one unit? Because that's really what we are. We're like this kaleidoscope, and we bring it all together and it creates this beautiful picture. And it's like if we could get on the same page, but the bad guys don't want to let that happen. There's division everywhere.
Yeah.
And so
You
I don't
know,
know. That's what I think about that.
when you said originally earlier that it does start with us, that's a common message I've heard with anybody I've been interviewing or even people coming in together here is like it does start with us. Your self-care starts with us, right? That's why it's called self-care. Our love, the echoes of love. I can't put love out there to anybody else if I don't love my own self, right? So, what can you give a piece of advice to the people who are listening right now about beginning with themselves? What can they do? I know we can buy your cards, we can, look at what that means, we can get involved with what you do, but where does it has to start somewhere within here before I can say yes to you. So what can we do?
Okay, well, I'm one of those practical astrologers and practical. I like practical things. So I gave you one example of sending hearts out. Here's another thing. Go in front of the mirror once a day, but really look in your eyes like a friend
Mm.
and start talking to your cells because you got trillions of cells that all have an ecosystem in here and they want their leader back. Okay. And so what you do is you talk in the mirror. It's called mirror work. I'm sure you've heard of it. And you just really look at yourself in the eyes as a friend and say, hey, you know what? I am back. Okay. And we got this together. And, I'm feeling tingles right now just saying that. But you know what? Just have a conversation with yourself. And it could be anything. It could be like what's making you feel bad, what's making you feel good. Just start getting back into the relationship with your cells. Just start there. Um, and you'll see a big difference in your life. Your intuition will get better. Your feelings and emotion will get better. You won't be so upset if something off the path happens, or like you'll start to change, and it starts in the inside of you, and then it'll ripple out. The next thing you do, okay, you start the mirror work. Now let's look at our immediate environment. When's the last time I cleaned behind the stove? When's the last time I've reorganized my freezer? In the house that you live in is a reflection of what's going on in the mind. So you want to clean, and you want to clean those deep, deep areas that you always forget about, like the back of my son's closet, for example. Okay. And when you start, and that's going to bring up some stuff too, though. It's going to bring up, because, like I said, it's a mirror. Your house is a mirror of the brain, of the mind. So it's going to bring up some emotions. It's going to bring up even some old boyfriend calling you, literally. Right. And it's because energy's getting shifted, right? But yes, it's those two things. Start with the inner you in your immediate environment, and then it'll ripple out, and then you can go towards your community and start working in there. And then you can start saving the world. But you can't go and save the world until you save yourself first, right? Like,
I love
metaphorically speaking.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. That's why, in the airplane, there's that thing. There's a reason why they tell you to put your mask on first so you can help your kids and the other people around you. This is why I'm so grateful that you're here to give us some insightful tools and actually things we can walk away with so that we can start. So I'm really now, I want to go and I'm going to clean behind my fridge because I don't know the last time I did that, right? I don't want to clean the rest of my house, but I know the importance of it. So the mirror work, the cleaning your environment and doing that deep soul work, because then here's the thing that I just pops in my head right now is we think, or I thought, so maybe some of our listeners are thinking the same thing. Wow, that deep soul work is really hard to do. I don't know where to start. How do I clean my energy? How do I balance my energy? How do I do it? But the reality is, like you said, it starts looking at the mirror, but the environment has a lot to do with how we're perceiving things from our mind and how we're feeling things in our soul and in our heart. So everything you just said makes perfect sense, that once we do that, then inward we can express more outwardly.
Yeah.
That's what I got out of that
And
anyway.
finding a home for all your things. When we watch those shows, what do you call the people? Hoarders.
Oh, right.
People who have
Yes.
too much stuff, and there's no home for it, it's everywhere. Well, that's like a literal blockage, on purpose. It's a force field because you're hurt from the past, and so that affects your mind. So cleaning the house is actually, and you know what, sometimes people don't like cleaning, so just hire someone once or twice a month to do it. Okay,
Yeah.
it only costs like 40 bucks or something. So just
Yeah.
save the money, and get someone else to do it if you really hate cleaning your house, and sometimes it's nice just having someone come in and do my stuff that I hate doing, like my windows. And your windows are how you see, like your eyeballs, how you see the world. If the windows are crappy and full of stuff, you're not seeing the beauty, and having trouble seeing the future and being optimistic. Like your environment, the house is really important. That's why I work a lot with feng shui, the real feng shui, not fast food feng shui,
Right.
but the real Chinese metaphysics, where you have to take compass measurements and blah blah blah. But it does affect your environment is a very big thing, like of how you see the world and the experiences that you have in this lifetime, for
That's
sure.
amazing. No, that's so true. Like we wouldn't, who would have thought we started with talking about your beautiful decks and now we're talking about how we see the world through the expression of our house and our windows and everything. Like you're the whole package, Trina. I know
Well, it all goes to the same. Like if you're looking at the stars for that, or you're looking at your house it's all a blueprint. If you're looking at your palm to palm read for that, if you're looking at cards, it's just data points that you're looking at to help navigate and to make good decisions, and to get out of patterns, and to be able to, if you don't like the way it's going, you have tools to change, just like
Mm.
spoon bending, to change the reality, which is, I think, fascinating that we have so much power. They don't want us to know that. That's why we're, all the stuff that's pushing us down and not letting us, and all these rules and regulations about all sorts of stuff, right? Like astrology is bad, and like who came up with that? Like even in
Who
the
would have
Bible,
think?
even in the Bible, they were following the stars, the North
Yeah.
Star. Like it's so ridiculous. But you know what I mean? It's like any way that they can control us into not exploring and being our true selves, uh, and that's a fear of theirs. If all humans were able to, because we could change reality like that.
Yeah.
If we were all on the same page with the love and the working together, we would have this new world that everybody wants, this beautiful paradise world that everybody talks about and wants. Okay, but it's never going to happen unless we can all get on that same page with the love.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate your platform, Josie, because you're trying to spread that, the
Well,
love.
it just starts again with me and with you, and then with the people who are watching us, and then the next people. That's all we can do. We can't eat, what's that saying? You can't, what's that, eat the elephant? How do you eat an elephant? One piece at a time. I don't want to eat an elephant, but I can't make this global change just because my mind says we need to make some changes. But it started with an idea and a feeling of love, and then other people coming in. And Trina, you are just the embodiment in my eyes of all of this coming together to help people figure out how their little pieces of their world interact with our world. And we create this big, it's like a rolling ball, collecting people as we go, loving people. Before we finish up, because we're getting ready to wrap up here, you mentioned something about the other deck. You wanted to share something about the other
Oh,
deck. I want to bring us back
yes.
to that before we finish up.
Okay. These are called the Power of Eight Chakra Lenormand. This is something new in the world nobody's ever done before, I don't think. Lenormand cards are a special system. They're different than tarot cards. They're different than oracle cards. They're their own system, Lenormand. So they're a French thing, from way back. Okay, but we've chacrified them. So we've added the chakra stuff to Lenormand system, and I don't think anybody in the world's done that. So these are special. So I will do a reading for all of us again. And this is very cool about day-to-day readings. So the way it works is let's just pick two cards. The second card modifies the first card. It gives it a description. So let's see. So, oh, I love this card. We got the sun. It's like one of the best cards. Success, lighting up, right? What do you think about when you get that sun, right? Sun's in Sagittarius right now. You're Sagittarius. That's expansion, philosophy, spirituality, adventure, exploration. So we've got a lot of the sun success here. And let's pull the second card. This is kind of like a daily. Okay, I got one of our bonus cards called time. So sun plus time means that time could be feeling short for you or long for you, or it could be that through time and working, your life will be sunshiny and success, right? But it can take time, or maybe it doesn't. Maybe time is just an illusion that we've been programmed to think. Linear time, right? But what if things could happen like that and your success could come right now? And a lot of it, success, desire, the sun, is to tell the universe exactly, and to tell yourself, what is it that makes me happy? What is it that is a success to me? What does that look like? Feel it, embody it. And that's how you manifest very quickly, is that you already have it. It's not, I want to be a millionaire. It's, I am a millionaire. But it's not, it's about, what does it feel like? What are you doing? What kind of house you live in? What's your relationship like? What does it feel like to be a millionaire, as an example, right? So it can start there. I'll pull one more card too, just for fun.
This is exciting, isn't it? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm so glad we started off with thank you, Spirit, for starting off with a success card. And then we've got the whip, which can mean conflict. So this can be conflicting about ourselves, the yin and yang, the way we grew up, our parents, the anger, the debates, but this is also a spiral where it's like sometimes we're in the same patterns over and over again. The whip is like a circular, and we want to get out of those patterns. And the way we do that is to do something totally different. Here's some examples. Brush your teeth with your other hand. When you go to work at the very last second, take a different way. Don't tell the universe, though, and don't say it out loud that you're going to do it. This surprises reality. And then it generates a like a computer game generates the scene, and it's called rendering in computers, but you're rendering these by doing a different thing that the universe or nobody expected you to do. So try something different, and that's going to help bring the success and make time not so long. Make it like that. And you'll start to see some synchronicities and some really cool experiences happen when you get out of the programming. When you get, and that's what another reason why this is called the power of eight, by the way, because when you put the eight on its side, it's a feedback loop and it's hard to get out of. So we want to go like this and come out like the phoenix rising of the eighth house in astrology, for example. We're trying to get out of the patterns and into the light, into the success, into the sun. Oh,
Woo!
no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But yeah,
Feel that
so there we
energy.
go.
You feel that energy, people. Put the word energy. If you feel Trina's energy in here, oh my gosh. Woo, that was amazing. It's funny, as soon as you pulled up the sun, I thought of our wedding song my husband and I got married to. Well, when I was walking down the aisle to get married on the beach where we got married, it was Here Comes the Sun. And just celebrating my birthday, the band that we hired played Here Comes the Sun, and then we danced to that. And so you pulled a sun. A sun is very significant for me. I love the warmth. I go outside to recharge in the sun when I'm depleted. I say to my husband, I've worked all day. I need to go outside and recharge my batteries. I need the sun on me. And when there's no sun on a gray day, oh, it's I have to seek out the sun. But the fact that you pulled the sun, I was just like, that is so.
Ah, I got to tell you with the sun too. Yeah, vitamin D, but don't forget, like a lot of people say, okay, I need my vitamin D and my calcium, but they're forgetting the magnesium. It's a part of that trilogy. And you don't want to take it in your mouth, magnesium. You want to get that stuff that comes in a lotion. It's called magnesium lotion. And you put it on after your bath. So now you're getting all three, and you'll be really much better during winter time.
Oh, hot tip. I have some of that
Hot tip.
spray, and then, hey, I'm not getting any royalties for talking about magnesium sprays, but
Me neither.
yes, definitely I feel a difference with that. But thank you for the reminder. Thank you.
It's fun. Come and join in the fun, and come join our intuitive collective on Facebook too. We have a group about 800 people now,
Nice.
and we're having fun together doing intuitive stuff. So
I love it. I always said I'm an intuitive sales guide, and somebody says, "What does that mean?" I'm like, "Well, I'm still sorting it out, but it just means, I come to you and you come to me, and I know some stuff, and we throw it out there." And do you not find that as an intuitive, there's so much coming in, and you want to be like on the ball and get it out there to the people who need it the most? I'm
mm,
feeling that from your heart, Trina. One sentence of wisdom before we hit end this live.
life is meant to be fun.
Life is meant to be fun. Thank you, Trina, for being here. I hope to have you again because this has been so much fun. And I can't wait to do some spoon bending with you.
Oh yes, that'll be next. That'll be next time.
All right.